more time. Hine matov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. You just sing after me like this. How good it is. How good it is. How sweet it is. How sweet it is. To be together on this day. How good it is. How good it is. How sweet it is. How sweet it is. To be together on this day. Hine matov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. How good it is. How good it is. How sweet it is. How sweet it is to be together on this day. How good it is. How good it is. How sweet it is. How sweet it is to be together on this day. So we say Shana Tova, Happy New Year. It is now 10 days after our New Year. Some of us were right here on our parking lot 10 days ago. And today is Yom Kippur, our day of looking inside of ourselves. We're still doing some turning, thinking about ways that we're going to be even better people this year, and maybe still tasting that apple dipped in honey from 10 days ago. Of course, some of our adults here might be fasting, and this is a little bit of a harder point in the day if you are, but this is a good time to be together so we can get ourselves through this hard time and celebrate our new year and this time to be together. I just have to say, it's because of our times. It's maybe been a year since we've seen some of you. I'm Rabbi Karen. This is Rabbi Micah. The kids, some of you guys have gotten bigger. Isn't that amazing how that happens every year? Some new faces here. Welcome. And again, some of what we saw 10 days ago. So we're going to pray, and we have our special prayer book called a machzor, which means a circle or a cycle, and you can see some pomegranates on the outside, lots of pictures, and this is our special prayer book for children. So we're going to read, we're going to sing, we're going to hear a story. All right, we might do a little dancing too if we're up for it. We'll see. On the next page, page 169, right in the middle of the page, you'll see three words: L'shana tova tikatevu. For a good year, we are written into our book of life. So we're going to sing these words together. L'shana tova tikatevu, 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 L'shana tova. I should also say we saw some of you this morning at our Yom Kippur morning services, so welcome back. Welcome also to those joining us by live stream from home. We know we've got some viewers, so if we're looking at that camera, we're waving to you at home. And looks like it's not going to rain, so we're good. All right, we're going to sing one more warm-up song to get us into the New Year and Yom Kippur spirit. So on the next page, page 170, you might remember from 10 days ago these three important Hebrew words. Repeat after me: Teshuvah,
Teshuvah,
Tefillah,
Tefillah,
Tzedakah,
Tzedakah,
which means turning, prayer, and charity, giving of ourselves. And we're going to see those three words again, but just to make sure we've got those three words in our heads, you'll be singing it all day. We're going to give this a try. Oh, and we've got our apple shaker. This is it. Here we go. Rosh Hashanah, head of the year. Rosh Hashanah, head of the year. Rosh Hashanah, head of the year. We're so glad that everybody's here. Teshuvah, tefillah, tzedakah. Teshuvah, tefillah, tzedakah. Teshuvah, tefillah, tzedakah. Teshuvah, tefillah, tzedakah. We'll get to the last verse. Teshuvah means to return, to find your way. Tefillah means talk to God, it means to pray. Tzedakah means charity, give it away. On Rosh Hashanah, this is what we do and what we say. Rosh Hashanah, head of the year. Rosh Hashanah, head of the year. Rosh Hashanah, head of the year. We're so glad that everybody's here. Teshuvah, tefillah, tzedakah. Teshuvah, tefillah, tzedakah. Teshuvah, tefillah, tzedakah. One more time. Teshuvah, tefillah, tzedakah. All right, we are ready to turn back to this kind of middle of our prayer book, page 63. By the way, as you were coming in, someone asked me a question. Why does our book go right to left? Maybe you're used to reading books that go left to right. Well, Hebrew, our special language of the Jewish people, actually goes right to left. So when you read the English, we're going to read left to right. When we read the Hebrew, we're going to read right to left. If you're still learning to read, that's great too. Your parents can help you out. All right, let's join together on the top of page 63. As we enter this holy space today, we are thankful for a gift from God. On Yom Kippur, God gives us the gift of a second chance. Whether on purpose or by accident, this year we have all made mistakes. We have hurt our parents and grandparents, our brothers and sisters, our friends and loved ones. Yom Kippur is a time to look back at our mistakes and learn from them. Today is our chance to tell God that we are ready to change. Anyone think they may have made a mistake this year? I know I did. I know, because we all make mistakes and we're all learning, and we can say we're sorry and then feel even better. All right, well, we are going to stand up on page 76 for our call to prayer, calling all of us together in this moment, and this is our special holiday melody. Hear that melody again. We can join on page 79, those letters of Hebrew, Baruch Atah Adonai Yotzer HaMeorot. Blessed are you, Adonai, who creates lights. And if you look all around, this is the wonderful thing about being outdoors. Maybe we've all learned the blessing of being outside a little bit more this year. It's nice to take in the light and the fresh air. And let's read together on page 81. God's love stretches. You could even stretch too if you want. Maybe you woke up from a nap. From top to bottom, it stretches and grows and melds the beginning and end. God's love reaches from start to finish. It reaches and spreads, forgetting just where it began. God's love teaches with stories and laws and rules and prayers. It teaches us best how to live. In love we listen. We too can stretch, we too can reach, and we too can teach as we seek the new year ahead. Wrap us up in your peace like a great big talit. Hold us close with this prayer in your love. And you can see Rabbi Mike and I are wearing a talit, a prayer shawl. I know we're not inside, so we don't have them out here, but we are in our special white as well, and we imagine God wrapping God's talit over all of us as we say, Shema Yisrael, God is one. Page 82. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. Right, and you can
can find your seats. 10 days ago, we were whispering things that we love about each other. We're going to try a little Hebrew today because I see we've got some kids here in our Hebrew school and maybe starting to learn Hebrew. So page 84, we're going to try to chant just the beginning part of these words that remind us to pass on our wonderful Jewish tradition to our children. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha v'chol levavcha uv'chol nafshecha uv'chol me'odecha ve'hayu ha'devarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'veitecha uv'lechtecha v'derech uv'shochbecha uv'kumecha ug'shartam le'ot al yadecha v'hayu l'totafot bein einecha uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha. And you can even see in the English it says repeat these words to your children. Anyone ever feel like you need to repeat things over and over and over again? Yeah, I know, so there you go. The Jews understood this many years ago.
It's worse than their kids.
We're just joking.
Not really.
Well, as our kids became teenagers this year, your kids kind of still listen to you. So,
So nice.
Maybe. All right, well, we're going to read together on page 87 these words that are going to correspond and relate to the Hebrew on the other side of the page, Micha Mocha, our prayer for always remembering that we were strangers in Egypt, and we want to make sure no one else feels that way, that everyone feels included and loved. So let's read together. During the holiest days of our year, we renew our promise to stand up for what is right. We will not stand with our feet frozen to the ground and our arms limp by our sides. We will not stay silent when our voice is needed. We will not hide. We will not walk away. When people are sad, we will comfort them. When people are mean, we will stop them. When someone is hungry, we will feed them. When someone is cold, we will find them shelter. When there are tears, we will dry them. When there are hopes, we will support them. We know how slavery and sadness feel. We renew our promise this day to not stand idly by when others are suffering. We renew our promise this day to bring all people into our song of freedom. And we'll sing that same melody that we just sang earlier.
Micha mocha ba'elim Adonai, Micha mocha nehedar b'kodesh, Yorat tehilot
Right, and one more page to read together with the pictures of the apples, page 89, because I think this might speak to some of our families. Thank you, God, for our messy, crazy, and wonderful families. Thank you for allowing us to make deep and supportive connections with other people. Thank you for teaching us that belonging to a family is both a beautiful blessing and a sacred responsibility. When we look around this room, we see that families are made in many ways, and we thank you for the diversity that exists in our extended congregational family. And Temple Beth David is so glad that you're here and part of this community, and to see a few generations of families here too, some grandparents as well. Well, on page 90 you see a picture of a Torah, which we're going to come back to Torah in a little bit. First we're going to sing a song on page 94, and you can see that big open book. How many of you like to read books? Anyone like to read books? Anyone like to have your parents read you a book? Well, on Yom Kippur, we are especially looking at that picture of the book. We're asking God to write us into God's book. And, all right, page 94, we'll sing about this book. Zochreinu lechayim, melech hafetz b'chayim, v'chotveinu b'sefer hachayim, v'chotveinu b'sefer hachayim, v'chotveinu b'sefer hachayim, levancha Elohim chayim. And on page 100, let's see if we recognize these three words. We can read together. Page 100. Utshuva, utfilah, utzdaka, ma'avirin et roa hagzera. Through return to the right path, through prayer and through righteous giving, we can earn a new page in the book of life and write a better story for this year. So we're going to take a moment just to whisper our own thoughts to God for a little silent prayer. And 10 days ago, we asked you if you had a wish for the world on the world's birthday, so you can maybe think about your wishes for the world, for your family, and then we'll come back together. You can go ahead. I heard lots of prayers being whispered there. That was very nice. Page 111. I forgot to mention, if you are live streaming, the link to our prayer book is also on the Temple website. Page 111, you'll see a picture of some hands, and this is our special blessing that parents get to say for your children. If you'd like, parents, you can put your hands on your children's heads or on their shoulders, or just put your arms around each other, and we're all going to offer us this blessing for Shalom, for peaceful days and nights. Remember that, kids, nights too. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha.
May God bless you. May God keep you.
Ya'er Adonai panav elecha
The light of the Holy One shine on you.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. V'yasem lecha shalom. V'yasem lecha On page 114, we're going to sing our special holiday prayer that speaks about God as a parent and, again, watching over us. Page 114, we're going to stand up for this prayer. Again, a special melody, and this will lead us into taking our Torah out for everyone to see. Avinu Malkeinu, Choninu Vaneinu. Avinu Malkeinu, Choninu Vaneinu, Ki ein banu ma'asim. Aseh imanu, tzedaka v'chesed. Aseh imanu, tzedaka v'chesed, ve'hoshienu. Avinu Malkeinu, Choninu Vaneinu. Avinu Malkeinu. page 132. We're going to keep standing because I'm going to bring the Torah out. Our Torah is our collection of Jewish stories and values and rules to follow. And as I said 10 days ago, in normal times we do a big parade, but I'm just going to have you guys stay seated. I'm going to bring the Torah out and back. You can give the Torah, a little fist bump, I guess. Or you can just wave. You can wave. You can wave the Torah.
You were here first. Rabbi Karen just invented the Torah fist bump. Shalom, 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 shalom. It is a tree of life to them that'll fast to it, and all of its supporters are happy. It is a tree of life to them that'll fast to it, and all of its supporters are happy. Shalom, 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 shalom. It's Chaim Kilema Chaziki Babetom Tema Meusha. It's Chaim Kilema Chaziki Babetom Tema Meusha. Shalom, 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 shalom.
All right, you can find your seats, and our Torah portion for Yom Kippur actually teaches all about being together on this day. It begins Atem Nitzavim Hayom. All of us stand here, and we have a special story that is actually connected to our Haftarah for Yom Kippur, which is the story of Jonah and the whale. And this is a little interpretive rendition of this story. So,
is there anyone named Jonah here? Do we have any Jonahs?
Any Jonahs?
That's
right, Jonah Reuben. Yes, and our son Jonah is here, which Jonah in Hebrew is Jonah, so he'll be here.
That's right. Okay.
All right, are you ready?
Yeah.
You're standing away from there. That was a bit. We're trying to move it over. That's a little bit better. All right. One day, the boy Jonah went to the zoo and fed just a little bit of popcorn to one of the bears. Even though there was a sign that said, "Don't feed the bears," the zookeeper waved his broom and asked Jonah, "What if everybody did that?"
Later that day, Jonah was at Trader Joe's with his dad. He took an apple, took a bite, and put it back. His dad was very upset. Jonah, he demanded, what if everyone did that?
Then Jonah wanted to see how fast the grocery cart would go in the store. It went faster than expected, and he knocked over an entire display of apples and honey. When the manager finally stopped him, she asked, "Jonah, what if everybody did that?"
On the way to visit his Bubby and Zadie, he was finishing up his seltzer. And then he dropped it out the window. The police officer asked, what if everybody did that?
Then at his sister Sarah's bat mitzvah at Temple Beth David, there was a delicious cake shaped like a Torah. Do you know what Jonah did? He he took a little lick of the frosting from the cake, and afterwards the cake said, Mazel Tov, because he licked the V. Jonah's booby looked at him over her glasses and said, what if everybody did that?
At Shorashim, our wonderful religious school here at Temple Beth David, a new boy named Gabe joined the second grade class. When he came to sit by Jonah, Jonah said, oh, sorry, this seat's taken. One of the Madrachim student teachers came over and said, Jonah, what if everybody did that?
And in the lake at Camp Grossman, Jonah splashed at the lifeguard during buddy check, ignoring all the pool rules. Jonah, the camp director, asked, what if everybody did that?
Things kept getting worse for Jonah. His parents took him to talk to the rabbis. Jonah, Rabbi Karen said, it seems like you've been making some interesting choices lately that have been upsetting people. Why do you do that?
Jonah sunk down in his chair. Sitting in the rabbi's office can be kind of scary, but then again, Rabbi Karen and Rabbi Mike are actually pretty nice.
Why do you do those things? Rabbi Karen asked again.
I don't know why I do any of these things, Jonah shrugged his shoulders. It's not that big a deal. I only just did it one time.
But Jonah, how many one times did you do?
Well, I fed the bear, I ate the apple, I knocked over the grocery display, I threw a seltzer can out the window, I licked the frosting, I wouldn't let the new kids sit with me, and I didn't follow directions at the camp swimming pool.
Just one time you did each of those things? The rabbis asked again. Do you think it matters how you behave? Jonah shrugged again. But it was just me. No one else did anything.
But Jonah, the rabbis asked, what if everybody did that? Would you want to buy a bag of apples, each with a bite taken out of it?
No way, said Jonah.
Would you want someone to eat your birthday cake before it was time?
No way.
Would you want to be a new student somewhere and not feel welcomed?
No, I wouldn't.
Jonah, I think you can do better. I challenge you to do better. Come back and see me in 10 days and let me know how it goes.
Okay, Jonah shrugged and headed home.
Well, the next morning, on his way to Temple for Shalom Corner Early Learning Center and Shorashim Religious School, Jonah picked up some trash that he saw at the entrance to the temple. And he put it in the trash can. Wow, said Roberto, the temple custodian. What if everybody did that?
When he got to class, he invited the new student to come sit with him. Wow, said the teacher. What if everybody did that?
And at Shabbat, Jonah closed his eyes, took a deep breath, and sang the prayers with as much meaning in his heart as he could. Wow, said the rabbis. What if everybody did that?
When people came to temple for Yom Kippur, he stood at the door with his dad and greeted them and gave out prayer books. He waved to the young children. Wow, said his booby. What if everybody did that?
During services that day, Jonah heard a story about a guy in the Torah named Jonah who tried to teach everyone around him that they should behave better.
His mom, his dad, his booby, his teachers, his rabbis were all right. If you behave badly, he realized, it just leads to more bad behavior. And if everybody did that, well, the world would be a mess. But if you behave well and help others doing mitzvot, it feels so good. It feels so right.
Jonah got excited thinking about all of this, being kind, helping others, leading by example, and Jonah thought to himself, and maybe we can all say it together, wow, what if everybody did that? We would like to give a acknowledgement thank you for this story. Perhaps some of you know the book, What If Everybody Did That? Thanks to Rabbi Jen Gubitz, our colleague up the road in Newton, for helping reinterpret that story with a Jewish lens. But guess what? We are all here today because what if everybody did good deeds? Imagine how great the world would look, how much we could all be so helpful. And I am going to give you a little heads up about a gift today that we're going to give you. because on Rosh Hashanah we had some sweet treats, but it's Yom Kippur, and one of the things about Yom Kippur is we really just look inward. We, again, don't eat, but for kids here you can eat. But we're not going to give extra treats today, but you are. So on Yom Kippur, if we're looking really deep inside of us into our Yom Kippur mirror to think about all the ways that our good deeds can be counted this year, you are each going to get a mini mirror to take home. So you can remember the story about Jonah and remember to look inside and think about all the ways you're such a great person and you're going to do good things this year. So Yom Kippur mirror to take home. All right, we are going to say our special Yom Kippur prayer for saying sorry, and then hear the shofar and sing a few more songs. So let's turn to page. Where are we here? Here we go. Page 137. 137. And you'll see in the Hebrew, for any of you learning Hebrew, that we have a whole long Hebrew prayer that actually goes in order of the alphabet. I know, I'm just looking out here. All right, this one's for Parker. So if you look at it, each word starts with the letters of the Hebrew alphabet in order. Aleph, Bet, Gimel, Dalet. I know, and Shalom. Okay, a few of you know that. Okay, and a few of you are to start learning Hebrew this year, so that's very exciting. But let's read together on page 137. We've made mistakes, we've done bad things, but this is what the new year brings. A chance to change, a chance to grow, with one first step, nice and slow. Tap, tap, tap your heart. On Yom Kippur, it's time to restart. We've used bad words and hurt our friends, but these mistakes are not the end. We do teshuvah, we learn to do good, so we tap our heart to remind us we should. And you can even try this. Tap, tap, tap your heart. On Yom Kippur, it's time to restart. And if you want to just take a minute to maybe turn to someone that you know next to you, if you'd like to maybe say you're sorry for something this year. Well, remember, Yom Kippur is not the only day to say you're sorry. So if you didn't get in all your apologies now, you can always say you're sorry to someone. And on the bottom of page 138, we sing these words that say, now that we've said we're sorry, we're forgiven, and we can enter our new year feeling a little lighter and a little better. So we'll sing these words together. Elo haselichot, selach lanu, mechal lanu, kaper lanu.
Ve'al kulam, Elo haselichot, selach lanu, mechal lanu.
Who's ready to hear the shofar? All right. So we're on page 153 and 153. And usually on Yom Kippur, you just actually do one Tekiyah Gedolah, one big Tekiyah. But maybe in case you missed Rosh Hashanah, we're going to do all the calls because Jonah's ready to go here. So you can join me in the calls, and then we're going to do one big Tekiyah Gedolah. Then we're going to sing our special shofar song, which if you feel like dancing, you can. And then we're going to end with a prayer for peace. Before we do all of that, I know, I have a little sad news, which is, on Rosh Hashanah we opened our amazing brand new playground here at Temple Beth David, named in honor of Barbara Zoo, whose grandkids are here. But because it is Yom Kippur, and we have actually 3 more services this afternoon, we are not going to open the playground this afternoon. But guess what? Some of you are starting Shorashim this Sunday, and the playground will be open. And we've got Sukkot and Simchat Torah coming up. So watch your email. As long as the weather holds, we're going to keep doing things outside, and we'd love to see you. We know it's been a hard year, but it's good to be back together however we can. Oh, yes, if any of you, we do have actually space still at our brand new preschool here, Shalom Corner. 3 and 4-year-olds. Our 2-year-old room is full, but if you know 3 and 4-year-olds looking for great early learning center, we just opened here. And if you haven't seen the playground, you're welcome to look at it, but it's closed today. So.
The truth is we've had a lot of tears at Shalom Corner.
I know, a lot of tears.
Whenever the kids go home, I'm not kidding, we've had tears. They don't want to leave, so that's a good plug.
And if you are interested in our Shorashim Religious School and you have not signed up yet, you still can before Sunday. You're welcome to talk to me, send me an email. And if you are new here for your first time, please do come introduce yourselves. We'd love to meet you. All right. For hearing the shofar, it's always good to be as awake as we can because it's our spiritual alarm clock for the year. So let's stand up. And we're going to give Jonah the calls. Tekiah, Shavarim, Teruah, Tekiah Gadolah. And that's with fasting, too. All right, let's sing it.
There's some girls in the back dancing through the whole service. This is for everyone to dance to.
I like to hear the shofar blast, sometimes slow and sometimes fast. I like to hear the shofar blast. Happy, happy, happy New Year.
You just sing this after me. Now you do Here we go, Shavarim. We're gonna sing this together. Here we go. Tekiah Gadolah. Tekiah Gadolah. I like to hear the shofar blast, sometimes slow and sometimes fast. I like to hear the shofar blast. Happy, happy, happy New Year. Happy, happy, happy New Year. Happy, happy, happy New Year. All right, to end, you're welcome to put your arms around each other. We're going to end, as we always do, with a prayer for shalom, for peace and wholeness and happiness this year. And of course, we do have our peace bear here. So let's sing for peace bear, sing for all of us. Oh, say shalom. Shalom, Uya Aseh Shalom, Uya Aseh Shalom, Aleinu. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. Shana Tova. Gemar Chatima Tova. If you would please return your books where you got them from. You can take a mirror with you. Again, we'd love to meet you if you're here for your first time. Shana Tova, everyone. Have a good and sweet